Don't lose touch. Gradually more and more technology will be introduced to your daily lifestyle. You'll be introduced to fun virtual realities. You'll experiment with new gene therapy drugs and treatments. You'll let them put a Neuralink in your brain. You'll live in communities of transhumanists. Gradually, you'll lose touch with reality as you already have. You already lost touch with what it means to be like every normal human before your time. Humans were never addicted to artificial electronic stimulation and distanced human communication. Video calling is not physical human contact that lets you exchange viral ecosystems, connect electromagnetically, and experience face-to-face communication chemically. Humans never ate genetically modified organisms, GMOs, created in labs, and altered their natural biologies being exposed to so many chemicals and man-made toxins. You already lost touch with what it means to be human if your lifestyle includes countless hours of looking at screens, not exploring nature, not loving the real world, and letting the internet control your mood changes. Here's why. You're supposed to be bored and experience boredom. Being able to glance at your phone for instant artificial stimulation changes your brain state. Being bored a certain amount is how every human lived before now, and it's important to be bored for complex neurological reasons. It's not normal or natural to be staring at bright screens seconds before sleeping or falling asleep, surrounded by the electromagnetic radiation you're bathed in for prolonged periods of time. Social media and internet access is a drug that distracts you, programs you, and controls you. Truly, and our brains are malleable and are changing constantly in reaction to what we experience. So people that abstain from the electronic stimulation have different brains than those that are immersed in it daily. That means not only neurologically, but in other biological systems, there are complex differences in performance because of how our brain states influence our overall health. Our moods and brain states influence our immune system function, and more. If you're getting pissed off more often and stressed from stock market updates or social media notifications, then your immune system is more likely to be less functional than that of someone who experiences natural human existence without any screen time. That's based on the assumption the person is stress-free, experiences regular boredom, and sleeps well. They're getting better sleep than you. They're experiencing less extreme and frequent mood changes, and they're in a more meditative state more often, and they're aging less. This phenomenon I'm describing is related to the placebo effect versus the nocebo effect, which also explains why religion and religious practice is also beneficial for immune system function and overall health. Keep in mind the premise is that the technology we're immersing ourselves in is altering our natural biology and therefore altering the functionality of our biological systems. The conclusion is that we're changing what it means to be human, and combined with the prevalence of gene therapy technology and the social acceptance of infinite gender identities, the natural human genome is essentially under attack. We can look at it that way, whether the attack is from pure stupidity or an evil intent to ruin what it means to be human. Religions are also under attack, so to speak, because a growing trend is anti-Christianity, atheism, and a newer version of Satanism that claims to not serve evil. That's just a side note. Additionally, overall religiousness and religious practice by the younger generation is at all-time low levels. When virtual reality becomes the normal lifestyle for the next generations, then they'll continue to be less human, less religious, less biologically natural, and more dependent on artificial electronic stimulation that intelligently controls them. The placebo effect is what heals you back to health when you think you consumed medicine, even though it was just a sugar pill. The nocebo effect is what makes you sick when you think you consumed a poison, even though it was just a sugar pill. If you're extremely scared of COVID, then when you get COVID, you're more likely to get it worse because of the extra stress on your immune system compared to if you were fully fearless, religiously active, and living naturally. Now you have a more accurate worldview, a heightened perception of reality, and a renewed motivation to do what's right. It is really just a switch in perception, expectations, and mentality that lets us transition into a more utopian civilization. The fact that crime, racism, and conflict still exists is a result of a lack of prosperity, moral leadership, and a loving upbringing. If everyone had everything they need in abundance, the space they want to occupy, the ideal childhood, the freedom to live free, and they saw all the nations are rebirthing peace treaties, then the mentality switch happens. That also unlocks a new level of cognitive abilities, because when people are empowered, stress-free, healthy, and motivated, they are the most creative. That is true, and is why Einstein recalled that his best ideas happened when he was the most calm and aimless. The creative state of mind is best and most frequently achieved in free and prosperous populations that also have the time to wonder. When everyone becomes prosperous, it will translate into an acceleration of advancements, creating the next fifth industrial revolution after we finish this fourth one, and as we get to the next level of human existence and consciousness. Mind you, we are going to be merging our brains with artificial intelligence. I'm not just saying that blindly. That's the exact goal of current research and development into artificial hive mind intelligence and brain-computer interfacing. We can't stop rich people with access to it from harnessing it. That changes your consciousness experience and your level of human existence. In the next decade, we'll be on a completely different level if all goes right or wrong in this decade. Can you imagine what will happen in 20 or 40 years? If you're young now, you'll be living for hundreds of years, and by the time you're 40, you'll have your own personal spacecraft. That's right. And if you have any disabilities, ailments, genetic disorders, or neurological ones, you'll be able to get fully healed already in this decade. If you're a boy or girl missing an arm or leg, you're actually very lucky because you get to equip a customized advanced bionic, which is a big advantage to have. If you're blind, you'll be able to see with bionic eyes or lenses. Since when could we make the blind see or the disabled walk again? That's a major development. And there's so much more that is now possible. We're so close, and all that's left is for you to rise to the occasion to make it happen.